All right. I think we're live. Can you guys see me? Is YouTube having problems? YouTube might be having problems. I can't tell. I think we're okay. Okay. I think we're good. Well, no, we're not good. But we are live. All right, everybody. So, honestly, that was really bad. I'm not terribly surprised that we lost this game, but to not even make it interesting, to not even make it competitive. I mean, that says something about the team that I don't think is very flattering. Let me put this out to the Discord real quick. So I'm not gonna go through chapter chapter and verse in this intro. I'm gonna give people a few minutes to gather up. But I'm not going to do too much of a recap because so little in that game was good. JSN and Charbonnet were good. Special teams were good. That's it. That's literally it. Why doesn't the chat work in Restream anymore, man? That sucks. The hell? Well, I can't fix it right now. I don't think Witherspoon did anything really all that wrong until garbage time. What did Witherspoon do bad? Except for the garbage time touchdown. Like, that play doesn't matter, guys. Yeah, who cares about the last touchdown? It's garbage time, people. Going 10-7 and missing the playoffs would definitely be unlucky. But at the same time, the team I saw tonight would not look good against a good team, a really good team. So what's the value? All right. We got 70 people in here now. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people here tonight because that game was really bad. And because, well, it's late. But, I mean, big picture, what talk about deflating, man. We were feeling good. And I got comments and I got chat messages from all kinds of people who were acting like we're the worst team in the league. That's how bad tonight was. What do you think about the officiating in this game? A couple calls I didn't like, but I don't think it really affected the game that much. They were saying that maybe Noah Fant got interfered with on Gino's interception. I did kind of think that, but that's the only thing that really stands out to me. I mean, of course, I still want this team to make the playoffs. Like, I don't care how mediocre the team is. I'd still rather make it and have one more game to watch than not make it. I think that's really weird that people ask that question, especially with a team like this that is young and on the come up. I think that game goes different if Gino doesn't go down. I actually agree. I agree. I think our opportunity to make that game interesting at the end was lost with that. And, that's not anybody's fault. I guess it's the offensive line's fault. Only thing keeping Woolen on the field is because of his height. I think it's the injuries at this point. I think that if Artie Burns was healthy, Woolen would be benched. I think the number one thing I'm taking away from this game is I am just shocked. I am shocked at how bad the offensive line was. I mean, that Packers pass rush is bad. They have one of the worst pass rushes in football. I thought we'd be fine because of that. They're just as bad as Arizona. And the way we got bullied was just humiliating. Woolen doesn't seem like he cares about football. I kind of agree. I think he's kind of. I think football is not really his thing. That's the vibe I'm getting right now. I think he's kind of checked out on football and he just wants to do something else. There are plays where he just looks a little bit lazy. Like, I question his heart at this point. I don't think he has it. I think that, it won't shock me if he comes out this week and retires mid-season. Do you think Gino's end zone pick was out of desperation to respond back to the 14-0 deficit? Yeah, I mean, I think that he thought a field goal wasn't going to do us any good because the defense was playing so bad. And in his defense, he had a point. And also, I think he might have panicked a little bit because he wasn't expecting the snap. Like, if you watch that play, I'm pretty sure he was not expecting to get the ball. That whole play was messed up on a couple different levels. Dude, if Sam Howell plays against Brian Flores, it's ogre. Do you guys have any? I mean, even with Gino, Brian Flores might single-handedly destroy us. Could you imagine if it's Sam Howell? I don't know if we would have won if Gino didn't get hurt, but I think we would have been right in it. And I would not have counted us out. The defense did start playing a little bit better. All right, we got 100 people in the stream now. So thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Sorry it can't be under better circumstances. I'm not going to go terribly long tonight. I don't think anybody has a desire to have a super long Seahawks stream tonight. But I will ask that you please like the stream. We only have 8 likes and we have over 100 people on the YouTube side. So if you're watching on the YouTube side, please like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're trying to pick up another 350 subs by the end of the month, which is... it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But we can do it. So if you're watching this and you're not subbed up and you like Seahawks stuff, please do like the stream. If you want to go above and beyond that, you can become a channel member for $2 a month, $5 a month, or $15 a month. You can super chat You can tip via the link near the top of the description. You can join the Patreon. Those are the best ways to help support. I'm going to get to as many chat comments as I can. I'm probably not going to get all of them. If you have a comment you really want me to see, send it in as a member message or a super chat or a tip, and it's guaranteed I'll see it. And I think that's about it. Is Sauce Gardner really bad? I don't know if he's bad, but it's not going the way that people thought it was going to go with him. But it's not my problem. I'm a Seahawks fan. How have you been doing? You've been coughing and stuff a lot in your videos as of late, so I'm wondering if you're all okay. Yeah, I'm doing some stuff trying to alleviate the issue. Some of it might be psychosomatic, some of it might be medical. I don't know exactly, but I'm trying some things to alleviate it. Where's Mafe been? I wonder if his knee is not 100%. Because he was playing great football early this year, and he's been a lot quieter lately. It might be the knee. Drew Alar in the second round. I'm kind of interested in Drew Alar, admittedly. Was DK not playing in the fourth? Oh, Sam Howell isn't capable of getting the ball to DK. Like, Sam Howell is only capable of making, like, one read right in front of him, and then either throwing it or getting sacked. Our defense actually played well after the first two drives, minus Joby and Woolen. I do not agree with that, John. We still gave up points on every first half drive. I mean, we gave up the 2 touchdowns, then we gave up 2 field goals on long drives. I don't think you can say the defense played well when they're still giving up points. I think part of it might be Woolen trusts his speed so much he's okay letting people beat him deep, and he thinks he can catch up to him. It's a stupid mentality to have. A third rounder for Howell is great. Well, it wasn't a third rounder. A third rounder was involved in the package. We basically traded a fifth rounder for Howell, which, okay, I mean, you want to take shots, but he didn't do himself any favors today. Gage Anthony, thank you for the $1.99. Do you think John is on the hot seat? Probably not, but I didn't think Carroll was on the hot seat either. I mean, I know that the defense played better later, but I really think that giving up 14 points in the blink of an eye is so bad, it's disqualifying to anything else. Because that forced the Seahawks to, number one, kind of start to abandon the run because they were already behind by 2 scores. And number two, it allowed Green Bay to play things safe, and Jordan Love never had to put a ball in harm's way. Jordan Love is a guy who will turn the ball over a lot if you put him in bad situations. And we never forced him to have that turnover because they were ahead so early. Yeah, look, I understand that Sam Howell looked worse than he is because he got thrown into a fire. I get that. But there is a lesson that needs to be learned from this game. And we can either be a smart fan base or we can be a dumb fan base right now. And on X, generally speaking, it seems like most people are choosing to be smart, which is good. On this next draft, would you get offensive line for the first 2 picks, or would you go free agency? We don't have the money. We don't have the money to get offensive linemen in free agency. Oh, yeah. I think that Geno Smith probably has the second hardest degree of difficulty of any quarterback in the NFL right now. Like, I think there's one quarterback in the NFL right now who has a higher degree of difficulty to being successful than Geno Smith. Maybe like 2 quarterbacks. But honestly, I think he probably has the second highest degree of difficulty. The fact that we whiffed on 2 Auburn DBs in the mid rounds looks really bad right now. Well, it's way too early to say we whiffed. All we can say is that they're not ready to do anything in their rookie season. And there's nothing wrong with that. You wouldn't expect them to. Assuming Geno comes back, do you think we make the playoffs? I mean, not right now. But that's because I just watched us get killed. May or Levis? Well, I mean, obviously you got to be a little bit low on Levis right now, but I do think Levis has the highest degree of difficulty of any quarterback. I think that Will Levis has the hardest ask of any QB in football. It just kind of it gets to you because every single offensive lineman did something bad today. Like Cross gave up the sack at the end. Maybe Cross is a guy that you look at and you go, whatever. He's still good. I think we could beat Minnesota if we have Geno. I think we could beat Minnesota. I think that Mike McDonald could cook up something really nasty for that Vikings offense. The problem is, I think Brian Flores is going to kill us. Yeah, Sundal looked serviceable, but Oluwatimi looked serviceable. Lomia looked serviceable. And look at him now. It's like, I'm sick of all these guys who you're just like, oh, serviceable. Serviceable, serviceable, serviceable. We got to go for something a little bit better than that. It feels like this happens a lot where we get an offensive lineman and we're like, oh, this is okay. We need to do better than that. Sam Bam, thank you for the $1.99. Jacobs owns Lumen. Spoon was not his best today. I didn't notice anything really bad from Spoon until the end of the game, honestly. So if there's anybody I'm not going to be too critical of right now, I guess it would be him. But I mean, he didn't make any big plays. Yeah, Olu got hurt. I know that. We don't know what's going on there yet. Yeah, I'm a little low on Grubb right now. It depends on who we can get, though. Like, if we could get Mike McDaniel or Brian Daboll, then yeah. But if we don't have good options to hire, then I'd rather keep Grubb and just hope. How'd you feel about Ryan Grubb today? I mean, the little bit I think I can evaluate him on was pretty bad. But, I mean, he's got no offensive line, and he had no quarterback in the second half, so at the same time, it's like, well, how can you blame any of that on him? And like Sam Howell does need to be a little bit better than that. Like I know that he got thrown into the fire, but he does need to actually be a little bit competent. We traded for him, and he was a starter in the league last year. So he needs to be a little bit better than that. Yeah, I heard that Gino wasn't like seriously hurt, but that does not mean we're going to be okay. Mhm. Yeah, I understand that, but he should get it by now. Like there were two plays in this game where it was like 3rd and 3, and he's got all his routes or most of his routes developing 15 yards down the field. Yeah, I might have to retire the woolen emoji. Yeah, I mean, you watch the tape, and it's very clear defenses are terrified of DK, which is why JSN gets open so much. So, I mean, it's not a bad setup, but I would like to try to find a way to get the ball to Metcalf and get him away from the double coverage. Red zone off. The Seahawks red zone offense is actually pretty good, Blinkus. We actually have an above average red zone offense this year. That's actually one of the few things on this offense that's pretty good. Yeah, I've been kind of straddling the fence on Woolen this year. I haven't really been sure how to like approach that topic because it's complex, but I'm kind of at the point now where I think I gotta pick a side, and I think the side is he's just not good. Would you put a comparable contract comparison for Geno this offseason to Baker Mayfield's last year? No, he's gonna get more than that, I think. And the way he's played this year, I think he probably should. In what draft class year you think the Seahawks get their franchise quarterback? I don't know. I don't know. I was looking ahead at like 2026. I don't think it looks great, but you got to give these things time to develop. But I mean, I'm totally fine with Geno being the short-term franchise quarterback for the next few years while we try to figure out the rest. Like honestly, my favorite idea would be to trade like a 5th round pick for Will Levis and try to get him up to speed. How do you think Byron Murphy has been doing his rookie season? He's been good. He's been good. Remember, he's only 21. Like people expecting him to be Aaron Donald, were that was always ridiculous. Have you heard Grubb may be considering going back to college because he hasn't had the success? That doesn't surprise me. And by the way, it's also worth noting the Packers just played the Lions. And I'm sure you guys are aware of that whole thing where like players that play the teams that play the Lions always play poorly in their next game. So the fact that the Packers still stunted on us was bad. How do you think Joby played today? Not good, but I guess nothing stood out in any particularly terrible way, but I don't think he played good. Waldron was better than Grubb in terms of his results. I don't know if he's actually a better offensive coordinator, but Waldron's offenses objectively were better. Hmm. Addison, I'll talk about that Tuesday. I'm not going to do it tomorrow because I want to see what happens Monday night first, but I'll talk about the playoff path on Tuesday. Is it copium that I think this game would have been close if Gino doesn't get hurt? Not at all. Gino would have given us a chance to even win that game. Um, I mean, we saw that Sam Howell ultimately doesn't give us any kind of a chance to actually produce. Like he doesn't even have a chance. It literally looks like the punter got put in the game at quarterback. And that is really disappointing. Don't get me wrong. Like something needs to be said about that because we traded for that guy and he doesn't look like he belongs in the NFL. That's not good. Yeah, we didn't get any help today except like the Broncos winning. And I think the Cardinals winning was good too because I want them to have to play hard against the Rams. Mhm. Yeah, the Saints, man. They really should have won that game. You have opinion on Jalen Milroe? I think he sucks. Jalen Milroe is not a quarterback. He's like Jalen Milroe is like a shitty version of Anthony Richardson, and Anthony Richardson's pretty shitty. McDonald needs to be held accountable for how trash we are on prime time. I mean, we're talking about like what, one game here? McDonald just got here, guys. A lot of these players are not players that he picked. By the way, it is worth noting the Packers do not have a single first round pick on their offensive line, and yet they are as good as they are. Jordan Love has been sacked 11 times this season. Geno Smith, we've allowed 7 sacks in 3 separate games this year. Like, it's not just a matter of investing draft picks. It's a matter of picking the right guys. Well, we lost to the Lions, but we played fine in that. We didn't play that badly in that game, especially with all the injuries we had. I think we played respectably fine in that game. And then the Niners game, okay, that was kind of bad, but at that point in time, I don't think that result was surprising. I don't know what he's supposed to do to make things better right now. We didn't play the Bills on prime time. Brendan, do you wear what the Yeah, I really hope that Seahawks fans are able to learn the right lessons from watching a game like this, but I'm already seeing that some of them don't. Hmm. The play that broke me was when the screen was blown up and Gino instantly threw the ball at JSN's feet. Well, he had to because offensive linemen were already running downfield. Like, that play is supposed to be an immediate throw to JSN. The Jets are talented. The Jets have a lot of talent, but I mean, I think we're probably wasting our time expecting them to put it together now. Charbonnet did good. Charbonnet did his thing. Yeah, the pass rush, man. That really disappointed me. Although it's really hard to get a pass rush going when you can never get the opposing team behind the sticks and you can't stop the run. Like, this is the same problem we had in the Bills game. I truly believe this was an off game and we bounce back next week. I'm sure we bounce back, but do we win? I don't know. The Vikings just keep finding a way over and over and over again, man. Is a trade for Dexter Lawrence possible? Do you have any idea what you'd have to give up trying to get Dexter Lawrence, man? First of all, I don't think the Giants would do it. I think the Giants would just hang up the phone. But you're talking about like K9, one of your young edge rushers, and 2 first-round picks. Gino didn't get seriously hurt, but that doesn't mean everything's okay. Recovering that muff punch would have been huge. Well, Gino was already hurt at that point. We weren't going to overcome that deficit with Howell. Howell could barely get a first down when he was in the game. And honestly, we shouldn't need 18 All Pros to have success. If our head coach needs 18 All Pros to have success, then he's not that good. Like, at a certain point, he's got to do his job. If we are paying 40 mil for Gino or Sam Darnold, who would you prefer? What kind of question is that? It's not even close. Gino is so much better than Sam Darnold, it's not even funny. Sam Darnold never did anything until he hooked up with Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson, and a good pass blocking offensive line. You bring Sam Darnold here, he would play terribly. You put Sam Darnold behind this offensive line, he would look a little better than Sam Howell, but not by a lot. Gino is one of a handful of quarterbacks that can actually make it decent in this situation. So Either you ride with that, or you just decide to throw away the next season and tank for a draft pick. You're not going to get somebody better than Geno right now. You could get somebody, young. You could get somebody who's worse, but maybe has potential. I don't think you can in this draft, probably, but you could. At least I don't know who that guy would be. We draft Cam Ward. Cam Ward's going to be a top 3 pick. Stop joking around, people. This isn't last year. Yeah, last year Cam Ward might have been like a 3rd rounder. This year he's going to be a top 3 pick. You're not getting him. Would you be mad if we went out and got 2 interior offensive linemen in free agency and spent 2 of our first round picks on IOL? We don't have the money to spend on free agency for 2 interior offensive linemen. MGS Liquor? I don't know. But we don't have the money for that. Daniel Jones already got signed by the Vikings. He's we couldn't sign him. He's on the Vikings. I mean, the sad reality is what we saw tonight from Sam Howell does do a pretty good job of capturing what most quarterbacks would look like in Seattle's offense. Like, if you took like a Sam Darnold, it wouldn't look that different. If you took a, Brock Purdy, it wouldn't look that different. We have a bottom 5 offensive line. Thank you for the sub, Joshua Garrett Gibson. We have a bottom 5 pass blocking offensive line. And we have a rookie offensive coordinator who has never coached in the NFL before this year. Mount Baldwin, thank you for the sub. Nothing on Geno yet, guys. Well, McCarthy's out for the season, Fenner. McCarthy tore something in the preseason. Yeah, I think Woolen just doesn't like football that much. I think that's the right way to put it. And I'm surprised. I thought he would at least want to get paid money first, but I think he's just kind of uninterested in football. What do we do with Lockett next year? He's probably going to retire. Y2K, thank you for the member message. Brock Bowers for life. Brock Bowers is wonderful. He might be my favorite non-Seahawk NFL player right now. You comfortable with Bobo as a receiver 3? No. No. I think Jake Bobo sucks. I want Bobo off this team next year. I want us to bring in some young receivers that are actually good. And I want us to get, receivers that can actually play football. Yeah, there's no way Lockett's on this team next year. Imagine Brock Bowers in this offense. That's what I wanted, Jybra, and we almost got it. We were very close to maybe getting that. We don't know about Geno yet, guys. People keep asking me about what's going on with Geno as it regards to next week. I don't know. Cody White's better than Bobo. Yeah, I agree. Cody White's better. Someone was asking about Scott Huff. I missed who it was. Somebody was asking with Scott Huff. I think Scott Huff is attached to Grubb. I think that he'll stay if Grubb stays, and he'll go if Grubb goes. Yeah, I kind of feel like Bobo's going to get cut this offseason and probably go do something else with his life. He's not good. Like, he doesn't belong in the NFL. Maybe he'll go to the XFL or something. Bobo would be good in the XFL. Thoughts on quarterback long term, and do we re-sign Geno if it's anything like a torn Achilles? We know it's not that bad. We've already been told it's not that bad. That doesn't mean he won't miss a game or two. But my position on the whole Geno thing hasn't really changed. I still don't know how we can do better, so we got to ride with it. We can't trade for Justin Herbert. We can't trade for Josh Allen. And I think the quarterback class blows, and we don't even have a very high pick. So what else can we do? I don't even know if Bobo's been good on special teams this year. I thought Tomlinson sucked tonight. Yeah, Bobo's not even blocking anymore, man. He doesn't do anything. We still have a really good wide receiver room, but Lockett is completely irrelevant now. Like, Lockett is just like, there are probably a few hundred Lockett caliber receivers out there at this point. It sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, I really hope we can replace Tomlinson next year, man. Yeah, Josh Allen should be MVP. I don't even think it's competitive anymore. Ethan14, thank you for the $1.99. Go Pack Go. Embarrassing. I don't know what to do to fix it because, like, I fundamentally believe in the rights of people to own season tickets and sell tickets to fans of other teams for profit. Like, that's capitalism. But I feel like there should be something that this team can do to heavily discourage it. What was the other Lockett penalty? I know he lined up offsides one time. What was the other one? Oh, he did it twice? Okay, that's even worse. You think the current Rams can beat Packers? Probably not. I mean, let's be real here. I know the Rams won, but they did not look good against the Niners at all. Like, they look good. I mean, they did their thing against the Bills, of course. Sam Bam, thank you for the $1.99. Is Nwosu toast? My eyes were closed mostly. We're gonna have to give Nwosu more time to figure out what we have there. I don't think we have enough information. I need to see a little bit more from Nwosu before I make a judgment there. He still probably didn't play that much tonight. Yeah, it's an interesting question, Ian. I don't have an answer for it. But it feels like the only fix that doesn't involve doing something a little draconian would be to just have a hyper elite team. And it's not that simple. So maybe we have to do something a little bit draconian to get a desired result. Maybe you just have to be like, sometimes you don't get to have the exact principles that you want. Mm-hmm. um, I'm definitely not doing Twitch. I'm definitely not doing Twitch tonight, Austin. I just want to go to bed. Yeah, we got to win next week, and we can. The Vikings are not some unstoppable juggernaut, but we need to get our quarterback back, and then we actually need to do something good in the game. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a chicken and the egg, right? On the one hand, the fans should show up. On the other hand, can you really get mad at them for not wanting to show up for that garbage game? Mike said that Gino's injury is not serious. He could still miss a game, though, and we can't afford that. Yeah, that's the weird thing about Woolen. He did this before he got paid. His agent's furious at him, right? Okay, Austin, you're right. Nobody knew it was going to be a garbage game, but the team has played not great football at home for a while now. Hopefully, Devin Witherspoon follows Jefferson everywhere. Woolen shouldn't even play next week. I'm sorry. Like, Woolen should legitimately be benched for Artie Burns. Artie Burns should play next week. I know that sounds kind of extreme. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. People think the team isn't good, so they don't want to go to the games. So then the team isn't good in part because they don't have good fans. And it just keeps feeding back into itself. Can Trey Brown and Artie Burns tackle? I forgot. Not really Trey Brown. I think Artie Burns can. You know, I I gotta say that maybe this, and I hate to say this because it obviously wasn't true 10 years ago. Maybe the city of Seattle is just not really built for being a fan of football stuff. It's been a... Oh, yeah, Austin. Good thing I did it now. I would not have been in the mood to do it this week. I would not have been in the mood to make that video later this week. Artie Burns is not bad. Artie Burns is pretty good. I like Artie Burns. Maybe like the kind of people in a place like Seattle, it's just not conducive to having a really good football fan base. I don't know. I feel like they show up for Sounders games though. Will Howard plays pretty similar to Bo Nix. I don't want Bo Nix. We don't have Sean Payton. Yeah, the Woolen thing I think is done. Like I kind of feel like at this point defending Woolen, like I don't see how you can do it. I don't see how you can defend Woolen. Like I don't think you can do it without outing yourself as, someone who just really really likes Woolen. It just really surprises me how much it seems like he doesn't really like football that much. Woolen. That's the only way I can put it. I just that's the only way I can put it. It feels like he doesn't like football very much. Woolen needs to be benched. I actually agree. I don't think Woolen should be playing again this year. Artie Burns should play, assuming he's healthy. You think Knight will end up being a solid player? He's been a solid player. He wasn't great tonight, but Knight's been good for us. Yeah. Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl rematch makes some sense, yeah. Unfortunately, as much as the Lions deserve it, they have too many injuries on defense. They're going to have to score 50 points a game to make the Super Bowl. We definitely need a presence on the edge. Mafe and Hall are solid, but just not enough. Yeah, that's why I talked a little bit about the idea of trading for like a Micah Parsons or a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby. I mean, yeah, the Bills definitely should beat the Chiefs this year. That doesn't mean they will. You would think. Yeah, I think Knight's good. I like Knight. I'm high on Tyrese Knight at this point. He's been way better than I expected. That reception to Watson should have been picked. Woolen didn't even attempt. Yeah, there were some weird plays. Thoughts on Byron Murphy and what he's doing? He's doing fine. He's a 21-year-old rookie. You know, I'm not expecting the world from him. It seems like Woolen plays football with a lazy mentality. Yeah, that's kind of what I've really started to notice. Thoughts on Nwosu and Draymond today? I didn't notice too much from them, but that doesn't mean they were bad. Just doesn't mean they were particularly good. Woolen has the I made it mentality. He's just happy to be starting in the NFL. But he's made so little money. He's made probably after taxes like $1 million in his career. Yeah, Ernest Jones was not good tonight. That doesn't make him a bad player. It feels like LaFleur worked us like a speed bag. It feels like LaFleur just whipped us. I do think that's probably a pretty fair assessment. All right. We've been going for about an hour, guys, so I think we're going to go ahead and wind down. I get the sense that people aren't that into it anyway. It's late. The game sucked. There's really nothing positive to talk about. So, yeah. Remember early in the year, you talked about load management and that if we were healthy at the end of the year, it was worth it. You think that's why we were so healthy right now? Maybe. Didn't help us tonight, though. Yeah, Woolen was supposed to be the next Sherman. He was supposed to be the heir apparent to Sherman, but not even close. All right, guys. I mean, Ian, that's kind of a silly argument, right? We absolutely should have beaten the Rams, right? We outplayed the hell out of the Rams and lost because of some really fluky plays, right? Um, you know, that's a very, very important game when determining this puzzle here. Like, playing that game is something that people do when they're desperately trying to spin a losing argument in their favor. That's not how it works. Um, you know, even like that Giants game, if JSN catches that pass, we beat the Giants. If JSN doesn't drop that third down pass, we beat the Giants. And if we don't have a billion injuries against the Lions, we probably beat them. So that's a silly game to play. I'm not going to do much for Christmas this year, I don't think. We're going to do some stuff, but nothing like exotic. All right. Well, I got stuff to do tonight, guys. I got a video to make. I got pets to feed, and then I'm going to bed. So, sorry things didn't go well this week, but we'll see where things stand as the week goes on. All right. Everyone have a good night. Go Hawks. And